and we'll go through whatever you have to show this week.
I did it again.
I didn't get your link to download anything.
It's again on my Google Drive.
Oh, okay, right. I got to go through Skype. All right.
Google Drive, and there's a folder 2020 12 the second.
All right. I always get talking to you for so long before. I gotta watch that. All right. Google Drive. Let's have a look at what you got. Did I just open the same one twice? Or I know what scan you used. Hold on a sec. Are these the same ones? I thought I opened two different ones.
How are they called, the files? Like one should be calling Keanu and the other one is like code run.
Okay, this is really cool. It's interesting. Oh, that's cool.
Can you share?
Oh, I'm not sharing?
No.
Oh, what's up with that? Let me do that again. Oh, I've just opened up the window without sharing. This is interesting, man. This is really cool.
Oh yeah, this is also from the same pack.
You just did a texture on that and you displaced like noise texture.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I've never quite thought about changing the clothing. So what?
Yeah, this was always something I wanted to try, like go into the sci-fi fashion. Like the whole fashion thing is always something that kind of interests me.
Yeah, it does. I wanted to do that stuff. I just never thought about doing it on a scan, keeping it kind of like that. This is really cool, nice and clean. How'd you use that brush? That cough.
Yeah.
How'd you do this so clean? The wrist part. What'd you do for that?
This is all booleans actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just booleaned out. Did you make a shape and boolean out?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really interesting way where you're doing all that. You actually did this text in 3D.
Yeah, I was using this plugin for the first time. It's like.
Is there a plugin?
Yeah, and it's built in, I think.
Where's that?
What is it?
Is there a
text 3D and vectors, and you can just enter a text and you can choose the font and you can choose the bevel and stuff like that. That's really nice.
If I do that.
But actually, I did that in Photoshop. Now I remember. Because there's no option to bend it.
Oh, okay. So what? Hold on a sec.
So the way I did it is I made an alpha. I projected it on a really dense plane and made a mesh out from that, like extruded it. It was not that clean, but it worked for that small text.
So you did an alpha. Oh man, what's going on with this bit to view? It's not working. Have I there we go. That's weird. So you're saying you did an alpha map. But that looks like 3D text to me.
Yeah, no. I generated so I did a black and white image in Photoshop of the text.
Yeah.
And then I went into the masking and there in the masking brush I put it on as an alpha, and then I masked it off on a really dense mesh and then did an extraction.
Okay, yeah, I get you. All right. So yeah, you dragged it.
But that on the hand, the text I did with the plugin.
The one on the
top of the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, this.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting.
So that was a lot of fun, like trying to think how how the fingers work and make it look believable.
Mm.
So I did the method you were using with your art tutorial. Like I bent the whole finger and then cut it out so it would be able to actually fold down. And then
You
this actually just made it really believable at the end.
you bent the whole finger.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean you bent the whole finger? Like,
Like this.
yeah,
Like the way you did the arm was like bending it like that and then cutting it like this.
yeah.
So
So,
yeah, I did that with the finger knuckles.
oh, you mean like, and to get the,
To get the segments in a way that they can actually bend and not
yeah,
intersect each other.
test pose it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you look at what, sometimes you could put the pivot point in a different spot and you could rotate it because those things look so thin, like where it's rotating. Because sometimes you can do this so that your pivot is like down there instead, like
Mm-hmm.
like that, because that looks very thin. I would have just did something like that and just put a hole or something, or you don't have to have anything there, but that would be a little bit more but then you don't have that cool red dot, so it would change what that is, but that would look way more secure. But I think it has a nice uniqueness to it too. It goes either way, to be honest. But this looks so fragile. This looks like it wouldn't even. It to me, it would look like it'd break just bending the fingers. That's generally what I would have done, like something like that.
Yeah, now that you say it, that's true.
Yeah, it looks cool with the red, that's for sure. But it's like your trade off, which would be maybe just you get to see it at the front, like so you get to see, like say we just do that, so you get to see the red when it gets posed.
Yeah, okay, get what you mean. Yeah.
That's your trade off. So that's like yeah, a little bit of best of both worlds. You're making me jealous of what you've been coming up with.
I
Um,
have since I kind of have the tools to like not having to think about how I reach a certain shape.
mm,
I feel like my mind can finally like jerk off, you know? Like I have all that stuff in my head that finally can like I can visualize it, and
yeah,
that's
just comes out. Yeah,
it feels really good. That's why I like started a bunch of new projects because I was like, I have this idea, like let's just start it.
yeah. I mean, it's great. This is great. And you just did a zipper. Does that come with ZBrush? I don't think it does it?
Yeah, no, I think it's built in ZBrush.
Is there a
In the brush palette.
zipper? This in the brush?
No.
There's no zipper. Insert mesh. Do we have it? Do they? This one? Yeah,
Yeah. These two. Yeah.
there we go. Ah, you would think. So what gave you this idea for the coat there?
Just started sketching on it, like doing a bunch of lines.
Yeah.
Um, at first, I'm like always like, ah, where do I put this line? And then I just
Mm.
put it in there, and from there it starts building.
Yeah. And this is you've retextured. Have you retextured the jacket or
I put like this I did
you've retextured it?
this surface, yeah.
Ah, so you've retextured